What is going on, everybody? And in this video, we'll be taking a look at the Rescue Operations Security Contract. Now, I think this one is in the easier category compared to some of the other ones, like the Asset Protection. My goodness, is that one frustrating. But I'll be doing this one on the Specialist difficulty here, which obviously, when I recorded this, it was on 1.5 times money, so it's probably going to be paying a little less than the $72,000. What I got to do on this one is rescue the client and bring them to safety. So anyway, let's jump right into this. Once y'all arrive outside, obviously Franklin will call you, which I always hang up on those, but he's going to give you a location where you got to go and rescue the client. Now this one can vary pretty heavily on location. So for me, I have to go all the way up to Ratton Canyon, which is obviously all the way over here. So they can also be in the city or pretty much in any other area there. I had a few in Sandy Shores. I had a couple in the city. Kind of depends on which one you get, but they're all pretty much the same thing. Got to go in there, kill some enemies, and grab the actual client. Now heading over to where the client actually is, I want to go over a couple of things real fast to help you all out. So if you're wondering what vehicle can I use on this, well, make sure you're using a vehicle that has 2 seats. The Mark II really won't work too well on this, mainly because you have to pick the client up and bring them to safety. For this, I normally run a helicopter like the Sparrow or the Buzzard. You can also use one of your favorite supercars or pretty much any car that has 2 seats for that matter. For this one, pretty much go over there and just make sure you guys could use the Mark II to get to where the actual client is. But make sure you get rid of the vehicle and call somebody that can actually pick them up, like your Buzzard, because, well, they'll just stand there and look at you. So make sure you get something that has 2 seats where you'll be able to actually bring the client back to the safe house. Once you guys get closer, you'll notice there will always be a flare that shoots up with the red smoke on the ground there. Using a helicopter or something that has missiles, you will lock onto where the enemies actually are. Do keep in mind, by the way, I notice in each circle that sometimes it can vary on where they actually are, but once you get close, they'll spot on the mini-map there. You'll see a little icon with the person with their hand up, basically asking for help. So you can pretty much missile all these dudes over here. I have not tested out by shooting the actual area where the client is. If something happens, I wouldn't really want to find that out, to be honest. But just shoot these enemies down here pretty easily with any of your vehicles. That's why I like using a heli. I've been actually using a heli on a lot of these recently, and it makes these so much easier to do. And with how much these actually pay, this is very, very useful. Shoot down the enemies there. Once the enemies are dead, then you head over to where the client is and get close to them and pick them up. Do keep in mind, once you guys get close, there's going to be other enemies that will spawn and come after you, and the client does have health at the bottom of the screen there. Now, I've done like 10 or 11 of these, and I've actually never failed one. Knock on a little wood there. But I've actually never had the client lose all their health either, so I pretty much picked them up in a helicopter or something. And the helicopters that follow you, even when I was using one of my supercars or one of my cars, I've never actually had the client die on me, even when they're shooting at the car pretty heavily. Once you have the client, though, just head back to the safe house, which I noticed for me has been at the same location all 10 or so times I've done this. So just head back over here and pretty much run over to it, or drive your vehicle over to it and then get out if you want, or just pull up to it. If you do use your vehicle, though, make sure you guys actually park next to it, because if you don't and you go in there with your vehicle, your car will spawn on the road over there. So just have the client follow you over to where the garage is there, and you will complete this one. This one's definitely really easy to do, especially compared to the Asset Protection. I normally avoid that one, to be honest, but this one's actually pretty fun to do. I've really been enjoying these contracts so far, so come on over here, buddy. Once you get kind of close, just run into the yellow thing and you will get this completed.